I used to think being exhausted all the time was just part of being a good Christian mom, that if I wasn't tired, I just wasn't trying hard enough. I thought burnout was normal. I thought it was holy. So I would wake up already overwhelmed, especially if there were dishes in the sink from the night before, which I'm guilty of more than I'd like to admit. Then worsened with coffee before water, and before I know it, stress before prayer. I was taking care of everyone else and everything else, and completely ignoring my own body. All in the name of selflessness, or so I called it. But really, I was just running on empty. And my whole household felt it. As women and mothers, we're called to be the heart of our home and set the temperature for everyone else. So if we're running out of a place of depletion, we're not pouring out like we should or like we want to, because it's really an instinctual thing that we do as designed by God. Somewhere along the way, God really convicted me. Not about dieting and not about losing weight, because shocker, that's not the be all end all. He convicted me about stewardship. Your body is a temple. I had read that verse probably 100 times in my life, but had never applied it to exhaustion in motherhood. What if ignoring my burnout wasn't spiritual? What if it was actually neglect? And what if that actually made me more selfish rather than the selflessness I was after? You see, when we're running on fumes and burnout and glorifying it, we snap quicker, we victimize ourselves, and all the service we're doing becomes less about who we're doing it for and more about ourselves. While addressing this issue for me was first about setting time with the Lord as a priority first thing in the morning, and trust me, even 5 minutes makes a difference. I also started learning about things like blood sugar, minerals, nervous system regulation, getting good sleep, managing my stress, and not in a trendy way, but in a how did no one tell moms this kind of way, because I truly believe so much of the health advice out there is not geared towards real life motherhood. However, God designed health, and He designed motherhood, and He designed our bodies. So I know that He designed health to exist in motherhood. And the more I learned, the more I realized my body wasn't failing me. It was asking for support in the way that God designed it. We don't have to work against or in spite of the design and demands of motherhood. We can actually work with it. Burnout isn't holy. Being constantly depleted does not make you more faithful. God designed rhythms, rest, nourishment, and He designed us as women to look well to the ways of our household. That doesn't just mean washing all the dishes and making sure all the clothes are folded. That also means honoring the rhythms that God designed and teaching them to our family. This can start very simply. Protein in the morning, minerals in your water, going to bed a little bit earlier, winding down sooner. Through these simple steps, I felt clearer, calmer, more present. It didn't happen overnight, and it doesn't mean that it happens perfectly. My house is still a mess sometimes, and sometimes I still go to bed without washing the dishes. So no, you're not getting this advice from someone whose house is perfect and whose routines are perfect. But you are getting this advice from someone who doesn't feel at war with her body or her house anymore. Although I have my moments, I don't feel like I'm just surviving motherhood now. I truly feel like I'm stewarding it and thriving in the role and ministry that God gave me. So let me just be real with you. Sometimes you're going to rise early like the Proverbs 31 woman, and your little one is going to rise early with you. Sometimes you're going to have every intention of winding down early tonight, and for whatever real life reason, that's just not going to happen. You may have a perfectly curated and nutritious meal plan this week, and something may throw a wrench in it. Don't let those one-off moments stop you from pushing through. Keep building those simple, repeatable, foundational rhythms that God designed for motherhood. And if you're a Christian mom who constantly feels overwhelmed, I want you to know that you're not weak. You're very likely undernourished, maybe in more ways than one. And there is a simpler, more grace-filled way. I put together a free guide that walks through the foundations that helped me. It's linked below if you want to start there.